Hey everyone, today I'm just going to be showing you a mock that I was working on, and what I was trying to make was a tripod or a quad pod, is what I have so far, but I took all the attachments off to show you all the phases that I went through throughout the process. I'm still not satisfied. I'll show you the final one. I'm still not satisfied with how it looks. I still want to do a lot more, but I'm just going to show you how it started off. So to start off, for the legs, or if the base itself, the whole idea of the camera tripod thing came from a video that I posted last week, which was a part of a project that I was working on for school. And I decided, since I just put the camera in there, it just stood out, I wanted to do something more. Instead of just making the camera stand on a pole piece over here, I decided that, wait, let's just try to create a tripod or a quad pod. So I started off trying to make a tripod, but that didn't work. I realized that I made a quad pod, so this is how it turned out first. So I don't have black versions of these 1x1 plates with the clip, so I had sand green instead. So just pretend that these are black. I was eventually going to replace it with black anyways, but once I put it on, at first I was trying to make it minifigure scale, but at some point it was not minifig scale. I mean, when I try to do this, it's obviously not minifig scale, and it's more like, if I can find it around here, well, I can't at the moment, but I was initially trying to make it in minifig scale, but it just wasn't working because this is obviously way too tall compared to a minifigure. So I was like, okay, I compared it to the brick heads and the brick head that I made of myself, and I thought that that fit perfectly. The brick head that appeared in my video last week, that fit completely perfectly. Even though it's a little bit short, it still fit for that size, because compared to a minifigure, it just looks like a giant. So this was the first one I made, and on the ends, to make it more better or more smoother, I put in the robot claws, or whatever they're called, on all four legs, and that way it can move both ways. It has two areas of movement, which is the bottom of the leg and then this part of the leg. And obviously I can't make all of them do it at the I can't make them all open and close at the same time, because that's completely impossible unless there is a piece that they release. But once you go over here, if I can focus in on that, you can see it kind of balances, it works out, but again, it's all over the place, and there's a bit of sand green. And again, this is not a tripod, this is a quad pod. And on the bottom over here is just a finishing touch that I made, just to make it all stay together, kind of, because if I didn't put that in the middle or the bottom, it would just all be clumped up together and it wouldn't work out. So this is the first version I made, and this clearly didn't work out. But even though it kind of worked out, the sand green was an issue, and I think that the clips, I had 1x2 plate with the clip, and I was wondering, because since I'm using both of these, I'm using two pieces to create clips on both sides, I realized that I had a piece that solves that and just makes it a lot more thinner. So I just found the piece which is basically, I think, 1x2 plate with clips on both sides. So you don't need to have this whole two pieces kind of thing. So along with the sand green, I removed that and I took off the claws with it, and I wanted to add that on top. So then, instead of all the sand green and all the bulkiness of the quad pod, I decided that, I'll just remove it all together. And since there's not enough space for the bottom, I also took off the bottom piece. And I took ideas from others, and they were suggesting that for a tripod, obviously there's a stick in the middle. So I need to replace that just a sec, because it takes quite a while to take the poles outside of the brick. And now that it's finally taken out, I can replace the small stick with the big pole piece. So instead of using the small one, I put a lot bigger over here, and instead of the sand green legs, I put this on instead, all four sides. and I still use the antenna piece or the radar dish piece and put that on the top. And since it would look kind of weird since the pull piece is there and obviously this does not have a hole in the middle, I decided to take that out. So now we've got this, and you have to adjust, well, I had to adjust this based on how it would stand because obviously right now it's a little too tall, but I have the antenna pieces or the, what is that, the robot claws, so I just put that on instead, and once I put that on it will be there. But as you can see, there's no area for the camera to fit, so to push it up a bit. I think that's a little bit too much, but you get the idea. I can't even find the camera right now, so okay, found it. So, and as you can see, that I'm pretty sure everyone has came up with this idea. To make it a longer lens, I just put a 1x1 round cone piece to make it look like it has a larger lens. That's nothing too special, but now as you can see, the pole, now that I just noticed, it's not that down, so let me just remove that for a second and push it down a little further. I think I pushed it down too much, but it's okay. I just wanted to show basically how it's supposed to go. Since it has a pole now, it has a lot more stability, and you can just put it like that and it looks like a decent quad pod, so that's really cool. I'm satisfied with the quad pod part, but while I was trying to do the quad pod, I was still not satisfied because I still need to make the tripod. So to satisfy that, I tried a bunch of different things. I'm still trying to, I don't know what's going on with this. So let's just take this off altogether. And to achieve the tripod thing, I use this. You see, I was trying to go for all technique and tried to use this piece, which has 3 axles. Well, it's a 3-sided axle kind of piece, and on all 3 sides I put the, I still don't know the names of these because I don't do technique that much, but I tried to do something different. So now that this is 3, it fits that thing that I tried to do, which I tried to make it a tripod, but there's a couple of problems. Obviously there's the big gray kind of area, and obviously that can be covered up with this radar dish, and I can just put it like that, nobody will ever notice. But you can still see gray on the side, and the other problem was that this was swishing back and forth, which is really bad. So that obviously didn't work. I tried this all I could. I mean, see, it looks perfect at the moment, but right now it flies all over the place and basically looks like an umbrella. So it obviously didn't work. And I was trying to find another piece that would basically fix all this, but there's not enough friction over here, which makes it that it just keeps going. If there was more friction, it would stay in place. And to cover this gray axle up, if I can focus that, to cover this gray axle up, I can basically just put a slope piece on the top to cover that up. That's not an issue, but that still wouldn't solve the friction problem and would just keep flopping all over the place, which is not something which I'm just trying to fix, and that didn't work either. But right now, if you were to put the pole, and since it looks like it's too tall for some reason, you just put it like this and it would work somehow, but it would still keep falling and it would still look like an umbrella, and that was the issue. But this is what I've got so far. I mean, this is not what I've got so far. The one previously is what I've got so far. It's the quad pod, which I'm way more satisfied with. The tripod I still want to work on because that's something that I just want to get right, because I haven't seen anyone try to attempt to do a tripod for a minifig scale or just a small kind of tripod. I mean, other people do way better MOCs, and yeah, but I just wanted to try something new and different. But this is what I've got so far, and it's a quad pod, and the pole over here, and if I can even, yeah. So I put the camera on top, well, put the radar dish first. But you get the idea. The whole point I was trying to make is that I've got the quad pod accomplished, but not the tripod because I don't have the piece necessary. I'm trying to, even at one point, I tried to use the official Lego pipe piece and try to make it like that, and it would be kind of flimsy, I guess, but it wouldn't work. It just would look really weird. But I tried that at one point, but it still wouldn't work. but that's what I was going for so far. But I hope you guys like this. But other than that, just one more thing. I was trying to look for the Lego Movie 2 sets because it released today. I was planning on getting them today, but the most popular one, the Benny's Friendship kind of thing. I don't know what the name of the set is called, but which has like four colored, different colored spacemen, including Benny. I just wanted to get that, but that sold out like even before I woke up, which is really weird. But the other sets are definitely cool. I'm gonna try to get a few. Obviously, not all of them. There's 19 sets. Not all of them are interesting enough. Obviously, they're interesting in their own way, but some of them are Duplo and some of them are just kind of build boxes with a bunch of pieces. But I want to still get a few and see what it's all about. But other than that, thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe.